tonight is not just an evening about film, as these are no ordinary films. They are a record of the past and what must not be forgotten.
We do not want to see it.
Does the world know about our suffering?
Emanuel Ringelblum understood that he had a story to tell, and it was the most important story he would ever have to tell.
We came here after the war, the survivors, my father and myself and my stepmother, and nobody wanted to hear a thing about what we had gone through. You're in America, everything's fine, forget it.
The idea is about taking action early. It's about understanding the warning signs early on and acting.
I want people to look at the individuals. I want people to listen to, because every word in the film is the written word from their diaries. I want people to connect on a personal level to these victims.
These people in particular, the members of the Onyx Shabbos who created the archive, 60,000 pages that they buried in the ground and that were preserved and dug up after the war. What they wanted so much was to speak to future generations. They wanted their story to be told. They wanted the story of what had happened to them to be told from their point of view, from their voices, not from the point of view of their murderers. And they also wanted to be remembered as individuals. So it's very painful that people are forgetting and don't know the story.
J'ai essayé 13 fois de traverser le front. J'étais toute seule. Pour la première fois de ma vie, je vivais sans ma famille. I say be engaged and don't accept any order that your conscience could not prove.
A lot of the film deals with what happened before she became a spy, because she lived in great danger for 5 years before she became a spy. Why? Because she was a Jew in France.
I was with my sister Stephanie. We saved hundreds of lives of people we didn't know. We didn't know where they're coming from, but they needed help. And they rang our bell. How they got our address, we never knew. But they rang our bell in Poitiers, which was in occupied France.
The paintings of your great-grandfather were coming back to Poland. And the train was bombed, and the Polish villagers, what I understood, robbed the train, and they had boxes, crates with the paintings.
So for me, it's a very visceral thing to feel like I am rescuing him from a lost legacy, and to share his art with others is to share his story and the story of the Jewish people.
In general, Poland does not do research on its own collections. Poland is very interested in the question of what was lost by Poland, and they want to get things back from abroad, but they do not deal with what is there.
And occasionally you'll see people write editorials saying enough of this restitution business, art belongs to all of us, and isn't it great that we have museums? And I always say, you know, let's go into your house and take things out and put them in the museum and see how you feel about that. And they've never thought that way before.
How does your family regard you?
They've seen me get hyper-focused on things before. They know I have this issue with justice. They're always worried that I'm going to go there, get arrested, and go to jail. They offered me a ton of money to produce Roseanne, and then at Castle Rock I produced Seinfeld. My problem is that I get bored very easily.
The story relies on this point, that a father says to his children, I was a thief.
I've been looking at this picture for 10 years. One of these two girls is the daughter of the Nazi.
After a lot, like over a year of investigation, I'm 100% confident that this mysterious Nazi did in fact bury something in the basement. The questions now are, what was it that he buried, and is it still there? And
I went halfway into the story when I first heard it. I was thinking, where's my passport? And I knew I was going to be going.
And what did your wife say to you? That based on the...
I was trying to get her exact words.
Yeah.
She said, let me get this straight. You're going to go halfway around the world to a country where you don't speak a word of the language to look for something that even if you find it, you can't keep it. And you're going to do that because a friend of yours, writing partner's father's psychiatric patient's wife's father
a Nazi on his deathbed claimed that he buried it 75 years ago.